Halloween night. A small American town, 15 years ago. Michael? Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
And totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Okay, come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
It's October, and everybody, you all know what that means. It's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. As we talk about the 1978 horror slasher classic from John Carpenter, Halloween. Though it's not technically the first slasher movie, that I think could go back to Bob Clark's Canadian horror flick, Black Christmas, or possibly the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it certainly was the most successful one, and it spawned a genre of sequels and copies and rip-offs that are still slashing today. Welcome to Fine Movies, Fine Spirits. As I said, I'm here talking about Halloween, but I'm not here alone. I'm here with my usual partners in crime. You know, I turned on Zoom 2 hours early, and I watched him for those 2 hours in a room, staring at a wall, not seeing the wall, looking past the wall, looking at this night for this podcast, inhumanly patient, waiting for some secret silent alarm to trigger him off. And now he's here. Mr. Christopher Morris, how are you this evening? And tell America and the world, what are you drinking tonight?
Doing well, Michael. Thank you. I am drinking a pumpkin martini, which I just made with pumpkin liqueur.
Very on brand.
Believe me, I don't want to be drinking a pumpkin martini right now, but I'm a professional. So
Respect.
my IPA is over there. A little heavy.
That other voice you might hear, or you just heard, I should say, I met him over 40 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death or good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with a blank, pale, emotionless face, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, and he had dirty feet and no shirt on either. But he does clean up well, Mr. David Corsetto. Welcome back from Disney World. How are you? And what are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking Michelob Ultra.
Very
Because-
Halloween-y.
This movie is a very easy movie, a very light movie, very simple.
Goes down
movie.
smooth, crisp.
Goes down
fast.
smooth. It's like water. So
It
I
works.
think it's a good choice for a very simple movie.
It works.
That actually does work. I'm drinking a pumpkin coffee because I'm keeping it light this evening.
Well, it is
For
called
my belly.
Fine Movies, Fine
Fine
Beverages.
drinks.
Mikey never brings fine spirits.
I sometimes have spirits, but they're never quite that fine. That's actually my top thought for this movie was simple but effective.
Yes.
That's why I went with Michelob Ultra.
It was created, let's give some stats, 1978, written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, directed by John Carpenter, and starring Donald Pleasance, he's in it, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nancy Loomis, PJ Souls, Charles Cypher as Brackett, he's back in Halloween Kills, Kyle Richards as Little Lindsay, she's back in Halloween Kills, and Brian Andrew as Tommy, who came back once as Paul Rudd, and now he's Anthony Michael Hall. Also starring Will Sandon as young little Michael Myers, Tony Moran, yes, Aaron Moran, Joni Cunningham's brother, as the unmasked Michael Myers, because they wanted a young, nice-looking guy, and Nick Castle, he's not credited as Michael Myers, he's simply credited as The Shape.
Excellent. Is that everybody?
Yeah, that's everybody. I mean, I just had some I wanted to touch upon everybody.
I'm
So
joking.
let's be honest. Donald Pleasant was the name for the movie.
He
only
was the
known actor.
Get. Yes, he was the name. He was the Get. I don't know what was. He was a Bond villain, and was he like Bridge over
he
River
was,
Kwai or?
Yeah, Blowfield in Bond movie.
And
But yeah,
He
that's
was
what
also
he
in,
was.
he was
Right.
also in,
name.
he was also in my favorite movie, The Great Escape. Did you just
that's
say
the
that?
one,
Chris?
Great Escape.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Great
haven't seen
movie.
that in a long time. Was he? I didn't even realize that. But I want to know better Donald Pleasant's John Carpenter movie role. Was it Dr. Loomis or the president in Escape from New York? He was great in that too.
I haven't seen
You
that
gotta
in
say
a
Steve.
long time.
Oh, so good.
So I can't say I've seen The Escape from New York, so I wanted to say Halloween.
Ever?
Never.
What
No.
the fuck? That's an old movie. You can watch
I
it.
know.
It's not post 2000, man.
With John Carpenter's muse, Kurt
You know
Russell.
who stars in that, right? I know we're not here to talk about Kurt Russell.
I know who stars in it. I think I've seen.
He went from doing the Disney film. They didn't want him doing this. They didn't want him playing this bad boy role. The studio didn't want him. Oh, we got to do that sometimes. Movie fucking rules.
Now, as you say, Don Pleasance really is the only name in this. It only had a budget of $300,000, and I think I read that it said it made between 60 and 70 million, making it one of, if not the most successful independent movie of all time until the Blair Witch Project, which was made for like $10.
Yeah, I was going to say that must not have cost a lot. But
It
yeah,
was
so
nominated for 0 Oscars, but was nominated for the 1979 Best Horror Film. It lost to The Wicker Man in the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, in Horror Films. It's not on the AFI list, but it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of, does anyone know?
96.
96 is correct.
Really? 96.
96. Yeah, it has a Metacritic rating of 87. And really, to me, it's about a movie where the cops listen to some random doctor who shows up out of town.
yes.
I mean, the cops do whatever he says.
There's,
You go on back.
there's a lot of holes in this movie, but I really like when you look at this movie, like, and I was like, all right, do you want to talk about all the holes? But like, no, not really, because it's a simple,
Right.
scary movie. That's it. That's all it
We'll
really
mention
is.
the holes. Exactly.
Yeah, I found the holes, but I was
Well-
like, I still love it. And the music just is incredible. That just pulls everything together.
So that's right. That's one of my things. I don't remember the first time I remember seeing pieces of this on TV, parts of it on TV, and I probably was 11 or so when I first saw the whole thing. Like I remember seeing clips and like seeing the part about with Bob and Linda. Is that
Yep.
when Michael Myers when he puts on the sheet I was like, is that really in Halloween? I was amazed. And I'm like, I can't wait to watch the whole movie. And I just.
That perv Bob, because I have some thoughts on Bob.
Yes, we will get to him. But it's just very entertaining. It started a lot of the tropes. I don't know what was in Black Christmas by the Porky's director.
Porky's and Christmas Story director.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. My thoughts are with his family at this time. So
this is the first movie that's gonna have like that virgin cast, that is the one that's gonna be the damsel in distress that's gonna overcome.
It started a lot of the tropes, right? It started, and again, so we watched Scream a lot lately, and Scream, pays such an homage to Halloween. They actually, I don't know if you've seen it recently, but at the beginning of Scream, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it today.
So entertaining. The kids and I watched it.
Are you talking Scream or Halloween?
Scream.
Oh,
him.
So
did you notice at the beginning of Scream, the husband is telling the wife, go down to the Mackenzies and call 911. He's telling them, just like Jamie Lee Curtis is, the Mackenzies is the same name.
That's awesome.
And there's a couple other things. They play Don't Fear the Reaper, like a different version of it. And it's just like obviously little nods. But so yes, it is the original, I guess, slasher with this type of format.
And it was, I thought, am I correct where the producers wanted to call it the Babysitter Murders?
Yes.
And Carpenter was like, no.
Yeah, I know. That was a good call. Good call by him. There was a podcast about the making of this. I thought it was going around. I remember I listened to it, but I always say this, and you mentioned the music, the soundtrack, the score makes certain movies. Jaws, it really is, to me, as great as everything is, it makes that movie. It really puts it over the top. Like the movie isn't as good without that score. The same with Halloween. The whole thing, which John Carpenter wrote himself, right? He's what is the word? Music writer? Composer.
Think about just the money alone from that.
He wrote all the music.
So all those Halloween movies he has nothing to do with, it's still using his music.
Yes. Yes. He wrote the entire.
Would you say that is the best score of any Halloween movie, a scary movie?
Well, that's a good call. I was actually having this discussion with my buddy Dave, who's one of our listeners. Hey, Dave, because he was saying he loved The Omen, which I didn't. I
don't remember the score for that.
I love
like
The
a
Omen.
chant. I think it's like a.
Oh.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Right?
Scary
is that
shit.
Original for that? Like.
Yes.
Because I think of Tubular Bells for Exorcist, but I don't know if it was written for The Exorcist or it was already.
I don't either, but that's right. That the Shining has great.
So The Shining, The Exorcist, Halloween, and definitely The Omen.
Yep.
Great fucking scary.
Probably missing something, but right. All of them have such good.
Then I think of like, another slasher movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, has a nice little piano thing, but it's kind of. It's a slow version. It's it's aping the.
It's not in the same.
No.
Exactly the same as.
If you play it, you might not know it. That's the thing. If you play this, everyone knows what it is.
I mean, Friday the 13th has a lot of good. Sound effects and.
Right.
The score, which is. But we're not doing Friday the 13th. We're doing Halloween.
We're doing that next Friday the 13th.
Right. So this is the one with when the kids put on the silver shamrock masks, right?
Yes. Yep. 5 more days till Halloween.
When are we doing a Halloween 3-pod?
Season of the Witch. That movie, I think suffers from being called Halloween 3. I think it was a separate horror movie.
I think it was pretty good.
But there are people who love that movie, or because it's like has a cult following. But
Dave
it's
looks
not.
Confused. Yeah. I'm sure you didn't see it.
I hate that movie so much. Fucking hate it.
So much so that they said, "Screw this, bring Michael Myers back."
I actually haven't seen it in so long, but from what I remember, I didn't hate it, but I was probably very confused.
They did reference it in the new Halloween.
Yeah, you pointed that out, that they use those masks.
Those masks, yeah.
Oh, by
So-
the way, my son said that new movie sucked. Is his opinion still suck? Or do you
It
guys align
is.
with that?
I said I enjoyed part of it, and then there was stuff I was like, this is dumb.
Fell off the rails.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. So one thing, like you mentioned, this must have had such a low budget, but Mike, you're the one who went to film school. That's why they have like a lot of long shots and not a
I
lot
think
of
like, it just has that independent feel where it's like you're watching people and you're still following them. Like,
the long camera, right?
Yeah.
Long camera shots, not a lot of edit, not a lot of cuts. It, you know, it's
They don't
great.
have 5-10
Makes-
cameras to get all the angles and everything.
And,
Right.
well, and they also didn't shoot it during the fall, so they filmed it wherever the hell they were.
Right. They had to get the right spots to get whatever looked kind of like fall.
I
Right,
mean,
'cause
you still see tropical trees in the background.
To call back to Jaws, remember?
Loomis
So-
was wearing shorts.
Yeah,
It
I,
was
I
filmed
thought
in
the
California.
Hawaiian shirt. The
It
Hawaiian
was
shirt
filmed
was a
in
bit much.
California, though. No, it was filmed in California, correct?
I think, yeah.
All right, you want to bang out the plot?
Let's bang it out. It's pretty
Let's
easy.
nail it.
So, like I said, I great music out of the gates. They have the jack-o'-lantern, and it, like I wrote down, like you said, Donald Pleasance gets top billing.
He doesn't do
John
shit until
Carpenter's
20 minutes
Halloween.
left in the movie.
Is what?
I wrote down, Loomis really doesn't do shit until there's 20 minutes left in the movie.
He waits a long time. And it's a very bad plan. He waits a long time in
Just
the bushes.
waits by the
Maybe go to the bathroom. But so Haddonfield, 1963, Halloween. You get right away. You get the point of view of Michael going up to the house. Right, looks in the front door, and then he goes to the side window. I have written down the little creep sees his sister making out with that goof in a striped shirt. Michael's around someplace. That's what she, and that's when he puts on his mask. It's Michael's mask. He's a clown, right?
Yep.
He's a little clown.
Music kicks it up a notch. He goes in the house. They show him opening the drawer, grabbing the knife, looks in every room. So I have a question. The goofy dude, he's done already, or is he going to get rubbers? Like I didn't.
No, he's done already.
Yeah, he
He's
was
done.
like, thanks, gotta go.
that
He's
was,
done. He ran
yeah.
down the stairs and took off.
Wow. Well, I mean, did you see Michael's sister? I'm just kidding. We won't. So we will in a second. So he grabs his mask back, and you see it through the eyes. It's kind of cheesy, but you know.
That's kind
Still-
of, I'm thinking maybe I'm putting too much into it. That's him hiding his face already. Like,
Yes.
that's his kind of thing. He doesn't like himself
Right.
or whatever.
No taking that mask.
He
off.
doesn't like him. He doesn't like himself, Mikey.
I don't think he likes, or he wants to
Are you
hide his
analyzing
face.
him?
I'm trying to analyze. I'm trying to put some deep thoughts into this.
We're
You
gonna
didn't
analyze.
You didn't watch 1313 Main Street, Haddonfield, the
No.
documentary? I made that up.
No, I missed that one.
They showed a knife in the clouds. Is that one? Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes upstairs. You see him stabbing her.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Good. Because this is almost like Chucky stabbing someone, right?
Well, it's very like there's not a lot of force. I mean, they must have had the little kid's hand doing it. Like, just
Yeah.
try not to hit her.
So why does his older sister get up and like be like, Michael, get the fuck out of here? Like this is retarded. Just get out.
Brushing my hair topless. You know.
Yeah, right?
Those
You
are a lot
little
of like,
creep.
oh my god, get out of here. I'm the older sister, and I'm gonna kick your ass.
Well, she didn't hear him, right?
It's too late. She surprised
So-
him.
Then
Or
he
he's
I don't,
supposed
we
to.
don't know what his plan is, but we know he's dead inside anyway. So he stabs her, kills her, walks out the front door, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. His parents
It's a nice shot where it's just right to that. Yeah.
take off his mask, and it pans back. So
Okay. I'm gonna
Yep.
time out again though. Time out again.
okay,
The father
Absolutely.
says something to him, right? Like Michael,
yes,
right? And his
Yeah.
mother just sits by idly looking at him.
they must be like, don't show any emotion, because he just says Michael.
That's it.
and then they
That was probably
stand
the best take they got. I mean, they only had so much film.
Like they pan back. And they weren't certainly not like the parents at the beginning of Scream. You know,
It's not like Kubrick. They can't have 50 takes.
Yes,
It's good enough. It's good enough.
That's true. Not on the budget. So then Smiths Grove, Illinois, October 30th, 1978. Doctor's driving with the nurse, who I didn't know she was in subsequent movies before she was in
Right.
Halloween. And then talking about patient talking gibberish, and Dr. Loomis calls him an
You
it.
haven't anything to worry about. He hasn't spoken a word in 15 years.
Are there any special instructions?
Just try to understand what we're dealing with here. Don't underestimate it,
Don't you think we could refer to it as him?
if you say so.
The compassion's overwhelming, Doctor.
So she's kind of like questioning his compassion. She's like, what are you gonna give him? I'm gonna give him Thorazine. Really? He's never gonna wake up. That's the idea.
So why are they going there? Was it?
Because he's going for parole here, I guess. Whatever,
Okay.
right?
I guess.
It was something like
This
that.
is right.
Because
I
he had
didn't even try to compute it or think. I don't like to think too much when I'm watching this.
it actually is good to turn that off a little bit.
Yeah. So he gets out. She waits in the car. That's when Michael jumps on the roof and she rolls the window down. Oh, she's driving. She crashes. There was a pretty cool shot of him reaching
Yep.
around, reaching
Slapping the
down.
hand.
But
It's a
okay,
pretty famous shot.
but prior to that, when they're driving up and it's raining, and they have that view.
Oh, they
of
escaped.
all-
Right.
Of
I'm
all the
sorry.
escaped,
That's pretty
all the
creepy.
escaped
Yes.
patients. That was so creepy.
That
Because
was
they're just
creepy.
kind of-
It was creepy on a rainy night, just wandering loose. Yep.
If I was driving in that car, I would legit shit my pants.
I would
Believe
believe
it.
it.
I believe it.
I'd like to
You-
see it.
Look at it. That's
I would
such a-
not.
That sets a good stage for the entire okay. Then Michael he gets out and Michael jumps up on the car and she doesn't really panic at all, but she
Yeah.
rolls the window down.
Yes.
I'd
I
be
don't know.
rolling the windows up and locking
Right.
the doors.
I don't know what she was doing, but yeah, it was. She's a hard case. She wasn't that scared. So, but yes. So that was so creepy, and the best line of this is when Dr. Loomis yelled.
You're all right. You're all right.
Yes, I'm okay.
He's gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone.
The evil is gone from here.
Are you okay?
The evil is gone. Right.
Yeah, he
Dumb.
takes this car that, no one's looking for. No one's looking for this car.
Okay, but
Oh,
Don't-
we'll get to
don't-
that. That's unbelievable, right? Driving around town.
I wanted you to wait for that though.
Yeah.
Because
All right, we'll get to it.
that is hilarious. But we'll
amazing.
talk about that after.
But we're not here to mock this movie.
I love it. I love it.
I do too.
Most of my notes were like, what? Wait, what?
It's
Yeah,
a
I have a lot of that.
again, back to the beginning. It's a simple movie. You can't really go too deep into it, but there's some holes.
Well, of course, there's
It's
plot
okay.
holes, but yes, and then there's also
It's okay.
like unintentionally funny things.
I mean, you're going.
Uh,
Listen, you're going from The Shining, which is a masterpiece, to
Mm.
Halloween, which is a masterpiece on its own right. Just
Completely
a much
different,
simpler
right?
movie.
Yep.
Right. We went from Up Here to Unforgiven, and then a little lower to The Shining, and then
Yeah.
down to Halloween. I kid. I love those movies. So then we're in Haddonfield. We see Lori walking from the house. Her father tells her to drop the keys off at the Myers.
The old Myers house.
Yep. She sees Tommy, right?
Yep.
Does I have to drop the key off? He says the house is haunted. Michael's on the street watching her, right?
This is
No, I think Michael's
Michael's in the house.
He's in the house at one point. You
And
know what?
this- This is what triggers the whole movie because he sees her and he's like, oh, I want to kill
I
her.
don't know why I have written on the street. I'm picturing him in the house. Like I said, I was half paying attention, so the notes may be a little spotty in this.
You have one
But
job.
yes, right. Michael's like, so they don't mention that she's his sister in this one, right?
Because
No.
they never mention in this one. They bring it up in the sequel, and you remember in the new version, they said, "Nah, that wasn't real. That was just a rumor going around." So they basically
I didn't-
erased that. So originally, that had nothing to do with it. They tried to make it more like try to make a connection where
Probably
it's
made
just-
more sense. Not that it makes sense that
Right.
you want to keep his sister, but like, why did he sees this one
Where I
girl?
think Carpenter's just like, he's evil.
Right.
He sees these
So-
young women. And it probably reminds him of his sister.
Yes. Oh,
And she's
definitely,
having-
especially when
and
they're
his
having
sister-
sex.
Who is having sex. So everyone else that is having sex or wants to have sex is dead in this movie. That's it.
Exactly, and that's why
Okay.
like we said, that's the beginning of a lot of tropes that were in many different movies.
But that's the first time you see Michael in that jumpsuit and the mask. In the back.
Yes. Mhm.
And I was gonna count how many times you've seen Michael in the background of this movie. It's
Oh,
gotta
it's-
be at least 2 dozen times.
It's awesome during the day, just walking around during the day, just creeping. Like nobody else sees him. Like there's a guy,
Or even the
Alan-
car, just the car parked off in the distance.
there's a guy in a Shatner mask, in a jumpsuit. I think he's a mechanic. He's hiding in bushes. He's outside the school.
He's driving an official car that
For God's sakes, he's driving a state car, right? Like, but anyways, they have a small
probably just
police.
some kids.
Yeah, blame everything on the kids. So Laurie's in class, and this is when she first sees him, right?
Yep.
So the class, they're talking about fate. I think it was funny because I think they also do the same in Scream.
Oh,
They talk about fate, so it's like more ping homage. So this is when Tommy's leaving school with the giant pumpkin, and the kids tease him about the boogeyman. They trip him, he falls, he breaks on it. One of these kids is Lonnie. That's when you have a little jump scare when he runs into Michael standing right there. Looks pretty strong and imposing. The kid like walks in.
but he doesn't kill the kid. He doesn't do anything to kids.
Yeah, this is true. I'm trying to
But,
think of any.
but he follows Tommy through the schoolyard.
Right, because he
Right,
saw
yeah.
Tommy with her. Right.
Yeah.
You know what? And I didn't even notice any of that. I don't think of it. I just, yes. So that's
That's what we're here for.
Thank you. So he follows the kid. I do have that written down. He drives off. And then he drives off. Dr. Loomis finds the car. This is where you see the dead mechanic.
In the sheets, and Loomis is
Yep.
like, I think he's been here.
No, he grabs the matches.
Oh, right.
In
That
the
was
car.
the thing. These are the
The
same
matches
matches
were
from
in
the
the
car.
car.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why they showed the matches the first time. It makes it all.
Yeah.
I didn't even know why they showed those matches.
Dude, I've seen this movie so many times. I didn't
I
even
told you I
watch it.
checked out, but it's great. But I try not
Yeah.
to think. So then Laurie is with her friends Linda and Annie, who was the police chief's daughter, Annie.
Brackett's daughter. Yep.
Who, by the way, both of these girls are 28 when they made the movie. So, I just
So
wanna
David-
And
tell
Jamie Lee
David-
Curtis was 20.
yes.
So
She was
comment
quite young.
away.
So perv it up. You can perv all you want. Just because they're babysitters, it's okay. Yeah, the late 20s babysitters. So Michael drives by, right in the middle of
Love
street. Drives by. Annie
Slams
yells
on
at
the
him.
brakes.
Where's Annie says speed kills jerk or
He
something.
kills, yeah.
A little
Wait.
annoying.
Calls
I
McCree.
like her though.
Calls McCree.
Yes.
He stops, yeah.
Okay. Linda wants Paul and Annie to meet up with her and Bob. They're talking about that. So they're still walking. Michael's waiting behind the bush. Yeah, this is unbelievable. And
That's a great shot. Yep.
yeah, just Laurie sees him. It is one of the classic shots is just seeing him like, what the fuck is that guy doing? And,
If that was
then he-
you and you saw a guy behind a bush, how would you react?
I would walk the other way.
I'd go the other way, especially like we have the knowledge of, psycho killers.
Yeah, they
Walk
did
around,
it.
or walk around across the street if you
True.
want to keep
What would you do, Dave? Kick his ass?
I'd run the other direction.
That's a good idea.
Thanks, buddy.
So Annie runs over. Hey, creep. This is when she says, "Hey, creep."
Yeah.
Because I have, and he's not there. She thinks she starts right. She rags on.
So I'm picturing like they're walking over. Michael's running through the. I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be seen.
Shape. I think he must just disappear because what else is it?
Right.
Like, what if he was like, well, if he just hit the deck and he's like, I'm gonna crawl away, and she sees him crawling or something.
The same thing with the school. Like with the school, when she looks up, he's there. When she looks down, he's like, "Quick, get in the car, take off."
You know, but he doesn't. But he doesn't run though when he's attacking them.
No, that's his best trait is that he just slowly
fast
kind of.
walker.
Where
Great.
the fuck is he running to when he's trying to hide? I'd like to see that behind the scenes.
He's a shape. I think he is. Yeah, you think he just sprints? Nobody's looking.
That's why he's always breathing so heavy when you.
Takes his mask off and runs.
So they walk Annie home. Is when Laurie walks into the sheriff.
Yeah.
Creeps on her a little. Everyone deserves one good scare. Is that what he says?
That's what he says. That
So she goes home, sees Michael in the sheets.
That's my favorite shot.
There.
With all the
And then he's gone, and then she's not totally. She's just like, what? She's more like puzzled, not totally freaked out because her face is like not horrified.
But she sees him multiple times and thinks nothing of it.
Seen him a bunch of times.
So don't call the police or anything. A guy with the jumpsuit and a mask.
Yeah.
You're seeing multiple times, but don't think anything of it. It's fine.
She's more worried about Ben Tramer.
It's just a coincidence. She just keeps popping up everywhere she is.
So the phone rings. She answers. Somebody. She thinks it's a prank call and hangs up. It was Annie. I don't even remember what they talk about.
I think it was.
Don't have it written down.
Some babysitter talk about going tonight. Hanging out. Blah blah blah.
She carries a pumpkin, and then Annie picks her up, and we go to Dr. Loomis.
But hold on though. Annie picks her up, and what is she doing in the car?
They go back to that. We go back to that. She's smoking.
Okay. She's smoking.
She's smoking. Yes, that's evil.
Yeah, but they
She's
go
a
back.
Bad girl.
They go back to that after they show
Jamie Curtis smoking and she's coughing, so she's a good girl.
Oh, very good. She doesn't do it a lot.
We'll get to that. But she shouldn't do drugs at all because I was telling my kids that kind of goes against the trope. It's sex and drugs, like they mentioned.
True.
Yeah.
She smokes a little of the hoochie. So Dr. Loomis is with this part's funny with the caretaker who won't shut up, and he's about to tell him a horrifying story, right?
Yeah. Judith Myers. Row 18, plot 20. Yeah, you know, every town there's something like this happen. I remember over in Russellville, old Charlie Bowles, about 15 years ago. One night he finished dinner and he excused himself from the table and he went out to the garage and he got himself a hacksaw. And then he went back into the house and he kissed his wife and his 2 children goodbye. And then he proceeded.
Where are we?
Huh? Oh, it's right over here.
His family goodbye, and then okay, where is Michael?
He went out, grabbed a hacksaw, came back in. I don't have time for this.
Kissed his wife and kids, and he's like, "All right, enough of your babble." So, excuse me. So, they, you would think they'd look from far away and be like, "Holy
There's a headstone
shit,
missing."
Isn't there something going on with the plot we're going towards?"
Wait a second,
Like,
you're 17, 18?
He's like looking at he's like down looking at the paper, like, which plot is this? It's kind of like Steve Martin in a movie we'll be doing soon, looking for his rental.
How the fuck does Michael Myers know where his sister's buried?
I mean, maybe he figured the cemetery, I guess.
Okay, but I guess. Yeah.
Maybe they let him go to he went to the funeral. They let him go. I did that.
That's another plot hole, but okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
So
I'd argue it's not as big as there's still bigger ones.
He didn't.
obviously.
So that was just the headstone, right?
Just the headstone.
Because when I first looked at it, I thought that's a small hole.
No, it's just the headstone, Mikey
Yeah.
moron.
Just the headstone. And I wonder what he's doing with that. Throws it in the trunk, right?
Yeah.
He's all about arranging.
He is a bit of a prankster.
Throws it in the trunk of a state hospital car. It's fine. No issues.
So, where are we? So they go back to the car, right?
Yeah.
This is where they're smoking. And, well, I have written down, why the fuck did Dr. Loomis go to the cemetery? How did he know that, right?
That's a good question. That's a great question, Chris.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he go there?
I want to, I know this is her hometown. I want to see where she's buried. Michael's sister's buried.
Or does he think maybe he'd go there? He's looking for him.
I mean, he was the doctor, right? So I guess maybe he knows something.
Yeah. You would think he would go right to Michael's old house.
You think so?
And wait in the bushes. He
will go. He will get there. But right, maybe he just. I have two things on my list. The only things I know that are related to the Myers family: the cemetery where Judith is buried, and the Myers house. So, not a long list. So this is when they're in the car. They're playing Blue Oyster Cult.
Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take
Love that song. One of the few good Halloween songs, quotes. I have written down, isn't that against the trope of drug doing getting killed? Because she smokes a little, but you're
That's
right.
true.
She coughs, so it shows she's not used to that. So they go to the you hear alarms, and he's freaking out because her dad's right there. Apparently it's big doing. It's big doings in Haddonfield when there's a small robbery with a rope and some masks.
Yeah, I like a couple kids just, they just stole some masks and ropes
and knives. Yes. But I mean, you wouldn't think the alarm's going off. It's like, okay.
Well, different times, guys. Different times. It wasn't as bad as it is today, right?
Okay. So Annie's trying to set Laurie up with who to go to the dance?
Ben
Tramer. And I know that because in the sequel that they say never happens. Remember the guy who got run over in Halloween 2 wearing the Michael Myers mask?
Yeah.
That's Ben Tramer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On a side note, I didn't mention yet, Halloween 2 came out in 1982, I believe. So I was 12. We were supposed to see it. David's late great Uncle Tony was going to take all of us kids to see Halloween 2.
Hey guys, I have a great idea.
Apparently you must have been too young, Dave.
I was.
I think it ended up being, it was supposed to be me, Paul, John. Greg must have been too young also, I guess.
Well, I was 8, so that means Greg was 9. Right?
Yeah, he might not have been
too young.
I honestly don't know. I'll have to ask him. But Paul bailed. He didn't want to go. So your Uncle Tony took John and I to Salem Tri to watch Halloween 2.
That is amazing.
Right? And we loved it.
Let you though, Chris. The even more amazing thing is your parents let you.
That is a great point. But they're going where?
Yeah, okay. No worries. You go ahead. Have a good time.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah.
12 and 14-year-old Chris and John are going with Tony to see Halloween 2. But again, I remember it was just a great movie experience. You get boobies, and it was great. I thought it was a great movie. Obviously, looking back.
Well, looking back, I mean, if it was great at the time, you know what I mean? That means something.
Right.
Yeah,
like you probably liked Goonies. You probably liked Goonies back when you saw it.
So
anyways,
when I was a kid, sure.
Sidetracked by that's speaking of Halloween 2. Okay, back on track. Just wanted to give a shout out. Okay, so Annie's trying to set her up, drops off Laurie. Michael pulls over.
There's definitely a car in the background. No, but at the hardware store where Loomis is talking, he's standing there, and there's Michael drives right behind him.
Does he really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
you
does.
see the car go right
He
by,
does.
and Loomis, because they wait, they keep it on Loomis, and he's just kind of sitting there, like thinking, and the car drives right by him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you see Michael
He
waving.
beeps and
too.
waves.
Michael waves.
He gives him the finger.
Fuck you, Loomis. You'll never catch me. See you in a few hours. You'll never catch me.
Oh shit!
Too smart for you. All right. So, blah blah blah. Annie goes to the house she's babysitting. The sheriff
Okay.
and Dr. Loomis go to the Myers.
Oh,
Time out.
shit! I have one more note, but go.
Who's
Go ahead,
the hottest chick? Who's the hottest chick in this movie? We talked about this earlier today. Who do you think is the hottest one of all?
Well, now that they're of age, we can talk about it. Let me see. I would say, I think it's Linda, who's
PJ Souls.
PJ Souls from Stripes, and she was in a few big movies.
Okay, I think she's classically prettier, yes, but I think Annie's hotter because she's dirtier.
She's dirtier because.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I got you with that shirt. And
Yes.
Okay.
wait a minute. Are we
She
still
loves
recording?
To have sex. She said she loves to have sex. She doesn't want to
Yes.
talk about it anymore. She wants
I
to do
know.
it.
Well, they both.
And
They
let's
both
be honest,
really.
Linda's laugh was so annoying in this movie.
They were
I was like,
both
shut
annoying.
up.
Though.
Stop
And
laughing.
Annie got a little annoying, but you could do the Ginger thing or the Marianne. I got you.
There's one more note I forgot at the hardware store. I think that's where Loomis tells the cop, "Don't make a big deal out of it. We don't want to panic everybody." It's like again.
How
why
long
is
was
he-
his hardware scene? Oh, this is when he introduces himself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Don't make it."
They have quite a
yeah.
conversation also at the house. They have some really crazy.
Maybe that's where it was. Maybe that's where it was at the house. But
Okay.
it's like,
So they go to the Myers house, and there's a dead dog. Like there's two dead dogs in this movie.
yes. Did Michael Myers eat a dog? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
What?
He said he was hungry.
He was hungry.
The dog's still warm, and Dr. Loomis said he was hungry. What else
Now,
is
was
he
he
eat?
hungry to kill or hungry to eat?
You see any mac and cheese boxes? They're like,
Okay, but I
Michael
don't
has-
think he eat the dog.
he probably ate. Yeah.
I don't know. They don't show the dog. They do show the dog in Halloween Kills. We do see the dog in the flashback.
Shut up with this fucking movie.
Yeah, well, you're right. We'll talk about it another time.
So yeah, I mean, Loomis said he was hungry. So
Yeah, so I don't know if I was hungry to murder.
Hungry for death. He
That's
was
what I
killed.
was trying to connect. Hungry for
What
death
do you mean? What do you mean hungry for? Like, what's the connection?
or hungry for dog meat. Like actually, like when I'm hungry, I eat. I don't kill.
Just okay. The fact that you said hungry for dog meat literally just made me piss my pants. But no, he was hungry for death, you morons. He wanted to kill. He's been locked up for years, waiting for this moment to kill.
he hasn't eaten in days. Do you know how strong he is? He needs sustenance.
Okay, so
Yes,
he's been in,
he is
he was in multiple kitchens. All he had to do was open the fridge and eat something.
He was in.
He let himself
I
in.
love
He
Halloween
let
too.
himself into multiple houses.
Oh, someone took our ham.
Why would he
And this-
fucking cut a dog open and eat dog meat when he has food in the fridge?
Because he's.
Wait, hold on, wait. There was
He's
a
crazy?
scene where they show him sitting at the table eating a bowl of cereal. You didn't see that scene?
He ate the dog because he has the devil's eyes.
That's right.
Hello.
Okay. All right, let's keep going.
That would have been
Hungry
great.
for-
There was a deleted scene of him just eating cornflakes in real time. That was like 5 minutes.
With the dead dog there.
Yeah. So, someone throws a rock through the window. Dr. Loomis pulls out the gun. I like that little scene. He's like, "Ha!" He kind of laughs it off. Sheriff's like, you look scared or something." He's like, "I got a permit." And then he tells him, "I met this 6-year-old child." He tells him when he met Michael, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
What do we do?
He's been here once tonight. I think he'll come back. I'm gonna wait for him.
I still think I should notify the radio and television.
No. If you do that, they'll see him in every street corner. They'll look for him in every house. Just tell your men to keep their mouths shut and their eyes open.
I'll check back in an hour.
It's great.
Great scene.
So they agree to watch out for him. Dr. Loomis is like, I'll wait here. I'll wait here for 7 hours. Is there? I guess he waits outside. I don't know.
Just
where he
waits
goes.
outside and takes a dump in the wood, like just nothing for the next 20 minutes or so.
Yep. So Laurie's reading to Tommy in the next scene. It's kind of funny dialogue. She's like, about what he reads and stuff like that. And then he asks about the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And let's see. Annie calls the poor German Shepherd Lester.
Oh,
R.I.P. Lester. He's barking. The kid looks out the window and sees Michael across the street at the other house. It's great image.
no one's
too.
listening to him. He sees him the whole time.
He saw him many times. He sees him carrying something in a little bit. I have written down Annie spills butter and then strips down. You show Michael standing there watching, wondering if the rubs went out right there.
So hot. So hot. I think he was actually, there's a scene where I think he was beating the meat himself.
That's what I just said.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe he was jerking off, guys. Oh, I do.
I
think we covered that already.
That's good. That's good. So, well, he did have those mechanical.
He was breathing heavy too.
Overalls where he just cut a hole in the side.
Yeah.
The breathing heavy thing, I didn't remember. There was a lot more of that than I remembered.
Yes.
Like it was almost like his kind of signal of knowing he's there because you can hear the breathing. You know he's in the house.
Oh yeah. It's great. Lots of heavy breathing. Then you see Michael kill the dog. You see Michael.
Yeah. The dog just slowly lowers his leg. What a great act!
I'm like, how do they do that?
They probably killed the real dog.
Today.
I hate to say it, but back in '78, they probably killed the real dog. I was like,
we don't have enough money. Just kill the dog.
That did look like a real dog, and we don't condone that on fine movies and fine spirits.
No, we definitely do not condone that.
Hell no.
Especially Mike.
Shame on Michael Myers, the actor that killed the dog.
So the kid's watching The Thing. Did you notice that, Mike?
Did notice that. So that I
Who
thought
would go on to make The Thing?
John Carpenter. I thought it was going to be his next movie. It isn't his next movie.
No.
He does what the fog.
Dave, did you ever see The Thing or no? Kurt Russell
I
is
have
also
seen The Thing.
I have not.
We should do The Thing. We should do The Thing next.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I saw The Thing at your house, to be honest with you.
You probably did. That movie was underrated, right?
I still haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's excellent. Our fans are shouting at their.
Sorry, Bob. Hi, Greg. Hey, John.
I don't know if Bob listens. Oh, he did. He did listen to one. So let's go. Annie goes to the laundry shed, which is like a weird, very inconvenient to do laundry, right?
Yes, this is one of my favorite scenes.
Yes, David wishes she was stuck for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, that's a classification of never mind. So, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that. So you see Michael, of course, in the window of the shed, and
so fucking creepy.
And she locks herself in. Lindsay's watching TV. Paul calls. And then she's like, she's doing laundry. Go get her. This is when you see her stuck, her ass in the air.
Yep.
Sorry,
Dave stopped the movie. He just it's still pausing his TV there.
So she's like, promise you won't tell Paul that I was stuck, blah, blah, blah. Says, I'll drop you off at Tommy Doyle's, right? Because Paul wants her to pick
so bad. She wants it so bad that she's bringing her the kid that she's watching over to someone else's house to watch.
This is true. I know. Well, right. Paul is grounded for throwing eggs or something at people's houses, and parents are out. So he's like, pick me up. So that's what she's going to do. Drops Lindsay off over at Tommy's. Michael's watching, of course. Then she walks over. Let's see. Gets in the car.
No. She tries to open the door first. She notices her keys are gone. She doesn't have her keys, so she has to go back in the house and get her keys.
All right.
The doors are locked. And then she goes back and then she opens the door without using the keys.
Yes, I noticed that. Here. And I love the fogged windows. Like
she realizes that. She realizes the windows are fogged. She's like, what?
What I didn't love was the faces she made as she was getting strangled.
Silly, yeah. I put just silly death face. So not the best deaths.
It reminded me of like Airplane, like the eyes.
I really like John Carpenter's like, yes, now keep rolling your eyes. Roll your eyes even further down.
Yeah.
Use that stupid face.
This is one of the best scenes when the kid Tommy looks out the window. He's playing and he sees Michael carrying Annie's body to the house. This is what Michael starts doing his staging.
Yes, he does a lot of that.
Lug the headstone out of the trunk. They don't show that, right?
This is like flip or flop Halloween version. Like Michael Myers is doing some creative decorating.
Yes, this is true.
Right?
This is true. All right.
I didn't know he's so artsy with like the horror thing.
Very, very creative.
He's a prankster too. He makes sure the bodies.
He really thought it out because he went through the tombstone first, and then he's like, "Yeah, now I'm gonna put her behind it." Like,
yes, that's all he did was that.
It was all for. I mean, really, it was all for decorating that house.
Very impressive. So now
he's gonna get a job with Laurie's dad.
With who? Oh,
Laurie's dad, the realtor.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Good call back.
Thank you.
So Dr. Loomis is still outside,
wasting time,
holding his bladder,
doing nothing. Hey, Lonnie, get out of
he's
here.
He's entertaining himself by seeing the kids, and he says, "Hey, Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there."
Right? Doesn't he say, "Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there"?
And then he giggles like, haha. Yeah.
He was having, like I told you, he was having fun. So then the sheriff comes back. Oh, the sheriff scares him, right? Sheriff scares him. Sheriff doesn't believe him. He says, what is he? He said, "Death has come to your little town." That's what Loomis says to him. And he's like, "Oh, you got fancy words, but I don't believe any of it." He goes, "But if you are right, damn you for letting him go." I don't remember they had a whole plan.
This is where this is where I time out, right? Like, wouldn't there be an all-out APB for a guy who was a murderer?
Well, he wanted to. Loomis said, "I was paying attention."
Yeah.
Loomis didn't want everybody to give false reports. Everybody will be seeing them everywhere. Just tell your men to be on the lookout. So they didn't want to.
Which did not work out, really.
They did not want to announce it and have people.
And they listened to Loomis. That's what I'm saying. They're listening to the doctor.
But my point is, the guy's driving the fucking very car he stole still.
Yes.
In the town.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw the car there.
Not a big town either. I don't imagine.
Not a smart town.
So my point is, okay, Exhibit A, his fucking car is there. He's there. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Loomis will find that soon. So
by turning his head.
Yes, by looking around.
Exactly. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
He's like, "That's the car I was eating my Twinkies leaning against." Like, what the hell? All right. So Linda and Bob show up with Budweisers. Linda and Bob are a good time, right?
Linda and Bob's a freak.
They're awesome.
Bob's a freak.
Did you hear what he said though?
Freak.
What did he say?
The line where they're like, "First, I'll rip your clothes off, then you rip my clothes off, then we'll rip Lindsay's clothes off. And if you remember, Lindsay's the child.
Bob said that?
Yes, he doesn't say we'll rip off Tina's clothes or Laurie's clothes. I'm almost positive he said Lindsay's clothes.
He did.
Oh, that sheds
The
a whole new
child.
light.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And
I
she didn't
I
go, wait, what? I'm kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. You know.
Like, wow. I kind of remember that, but it was a simpler time.
He's a freak. He left the fucking door of the band open. No consideration for his fucking man. Just left it open and walked right into the house.
Like I said, both of them are good. They're a fun couple, though. They are a fun couple.
Yeah, they have fun, all right.
But they pan back. Michael's there. So
No peripheral vision, though.
right. Michael's right there. So
You see Michael nod and go,
fooling around, right? Michael's right there, right? They bang. You see they're smoking. Bob says, "I'll be right back," right? Which is
I'll
you
be
never
right
say.
back.
You never say as what's the guy's name in Scream?
Oh shit, I can't think of his name. I know it's Jamie Kennedy. But
Right. So
they take
Bob,
the phone off the hook.
yes, this is my favorite part. I don't know if we even mentioned favorite kills, or I mean, not that there were a lot. There were Michael only kills.
This
How
is
many
the most
deaths?
memorable one.
But it's just like iconic. But it's like entertaining. Not even him. The way he kills her, not great. But I'm saying the way he kills Bob. So all right, I'll get to it. So I always thought this was the best part when I was a kid. This is what I was saying. So Bob goes out to get the beer. Sees the door open, right?
Yep.
Looks in one thing, they kind of do the fake. He opens one closet, nothing, and then he turns around and Michael comes out, lifts him up with one hand. Bob, by the way, people die very
easy
in this.
Yes.
They've died very quietly.
And Bob is actually 80% helium because that knife somehow kept him up.
Yes, it impaled him. So, Dave,
yeah,
what do you think? I'm sorry. I was going to say, do you think you're stronger than Mike Myers?
Me?
Well, you said you were. I mean, you've been making outlandish statements like you were the best athlete. I don't know what's crazier.
Okay, well, hold on. Mikey,
that you were the best athlete out of us, or that you're stronger than Mike Myers?
Listen, I know this after watching it today again for probably the 200th time. If I was Bob, I'd at least swing or kick his balls or try something. He just sat there and let him strangle him. There was no fucking movement.
He got strangled easily. Then he got stabbed. He died quick, but then he was still breathing when he was hanging there, so he's fine.
Yes.
Well, they showed his feet uncurl. That's what happened, right?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then somehow that knife is holding his whole body up.
Again, of course, it's ridiculous, but I have written down these
love it.
people die pretty easily. It's a great scene, iconic, absurd, obviously absurd.
Absurd. Because I think even you, Chris, who was the second best athlete of our group, would at least attempted to make a swing.
If you're talking best athlete, aside from running, football, baseball, football,
ladies and gentlemen, I just want to apologize for what's going on right now.
Skating. You're right.
Mike,
there's a long history going on here from wiffle ball
with the whole thing.
Football.
No, Michael is not with you.
I don't know if I agreed. I feel like I was leading
You
the witness.
did 100%
I
agree.
said,
I think it was,
listen. He said I was the
tennis player and basketball player that I was.
He said, wasn't I the best athlete? And I said, oh yeah. And he goes, better than Chris? Like right to you. He went directly to you. I go, wait a second. Chris is always my teammate. I didn't even think of that. I can,
you folded pretty quick.
People don't want to hear this.
Nobody wants to hear this.
Right. I mean, again, I concede. You've never beat me in anything, but you can skate better. So you are a better hockey player. Back to the movie. So the strength of David and Mike Myers lifting Bob up, absurd. Again, the logistics of it couldn't happen. And again, this is where we get to Michael's motivation. The fact that he's like, I'm going to put a sheet on.
Yeah.
Play a little silly prank.
Why does he even want to trick her?
He staged it again. Again, another stage by Michael Myers.
It's awesome. It was awesome, though. It was awesome.
He even put Bob's glasses on.
Right?
He put Bob's glasses on.
That is so scary because when that door opens, you see people seeing it the first time, everybody knows that it's Michael Myers except her. So the theater must have been going crazy.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So yes, he's standing there creepily, breathing. Right. And then Linda.
Yep.
Linda is like laughing, thinks it's funny, doing her nails, and she says, has the I got you ghost. What did she say? Did I get you ghost? A little joke that she made.
Yeah.
And then she's like, he's standing there not saying anything. What's Michael waiting for? Just for her to turn around? What if she doesn't turn around? They're like a standoff, right? So she's like, you're weird. Finally, she's like, she turns her back to him. This is great, the piano, right? This is the first time you hear the dune.
Yep.
So she calls Lori. Michael chokes her as she's talking to Lori. She's
Okay,
like,
she called Lori. Okay, good. That answered
Okay.
I was like, who put the phone back on the?
Do you ever close your eyes and just think she's getting banged?
No, because we were with Lori, who thought she was getting banged. You didn't really discover something. That was the whole point.
Yeah, we had the advantage.
Did you close your eyes?
But we knew she was getting murdered. We knew
True.
that.
But
So
did
saying,
you still?
if you ever shut your eyes and just think about her getting banged?
Did you close your
You
eyes?
watch a lot of snuff films? Is that-
No.
I'm into that.
No, I've never done that.
I just want to ask Dave, did you close your eyes? Did you bite your lip? And did you keep hitting rewind until it was over?
So, anyways,
Close not.
him choking her.
Sick fuck.
So, watching this the other night with the kids, it's funny. Grace pointed this out. She's like, she must think Bob is strangling her.
That is
Her last-
hilarious.
And I was like, you're right. You're right. Her
Oh my
last
God.
thought is like, Bob's a monster. I didn't know. Maybe he was
The love of her
maybe,
life.
the last thought of her life is like, why is Bob killing me? He's probably a pedophile. Like,
Oh my- right. Lindsay, he wants Lindsay for himself.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, Grace has a good,
Wow, Grace, good call, good job, buddy.
brilliant
good job.
mind.
You're really raising a good kid there, Chris.
Thank you.
I hope
you.
she listens.
She pointed that out. No, thank God. I wouldn't let her listen to this, especially the last one. So, talked about the bathroom scene.
Oh yeah.
So, Dr. Loomis still at Michael Myers' house. Let's see. In the bushes. I have
He's still in the
He's
bushes.
still in the bushes.
rough day, bad plan. And this is when he finally sees state vehicle runs down the street.
3 feet to the left.
Jesus Christ, Loomis. Lori's like, I'm gonna go see what's going on. This is when she walks across the street, and
This is when
you
everything
hear
starts
the
happening.
slow piano music. You hear the slow music. Walks up the stairs, down the hall. This part is great though, right?
Yes.
They build up, and then she finally opens the door, sees Annie on the bed with the Judith headstone. Then Bob's body swings out of the closet, and then you
So
see
Mike stuck her in the closet, stuck her in the little dumb
Right.
waiter or whatever.
did all this, and then Linda's comical face. It's kind of stupid, right? Making
Right.
a cross eyes. So this is one of the best shots, and you see her backing out, or she goes in the other room, kind of like out of the room, and you see this is why he's called the Shape. This makes you think of it because he kind of just like his face kind of like forms.
The best when it comes out of the darkness. The best shot.
That might be the best shot out of the movie. Yeah, just appears in the black. Tries to stab her. This is very piss poor job.
Okay, can I go back real quick? Sorry.
Yep.
Real-
No.
When she goes in there and sees Annie on the bed with the fucking tombstone, right?
Mhm.
Then she backs up and then Bob miraculously for some reason swings.
It's all triggered. It's all part of the same.
Did he set this up too? And then the door mysteriously just pops open, and you see Linda there, right?
Yep.
Like, how did all that happen?
Didn't you see Home Alone? He has all the ropes. Like
Michael
He
had
set it all
yeah.
up.
He's right.
He's the
Again,
mastermind.
great
of
job staging. That's what they call it.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, glad you cleared that up for me because I
No
really
problem.
was curious on that today.
So this is when, and he tries to stab her. You think she'd be bleeding more. He slashes her arm. She falls down the stairs, and this is where you have the Dune. This is, I think this is the first that has that
Great
piano,
scene.
and that's the great when you have like the synthesizer. And she runs.
He walks.
Across.
She runs. He walks.
Yeah. Oh, and this is great because she goes to somebody else's house first.
Yep. Screaming.
Go away, hippie.
Yeah, I would have just sprinted down the street. Fuck those kids. I'm gonna call the cops. They're after me anyway. I would make a beeline down the street because the guy doesn't run anyways. So she goes across the street. This is great though, seeing him walking across the street towards her, and she's freaking yelling. Tommy finally has to throw up a plant to wake him up. Comes down, and let's see. Gets in the house. Get upstairs. Do as I say. Yells at him. Phone's dead. When trope alert, or first of many movies that has that. So she sees the window open, and she's like, oh no. She's a little annoying with her crying.
Okay, and then she sees the pin cushion.
Crouches down, starts crying.
Yeah, but then she sees the pin cushion, right?
Yes.
And grabs the fucking whatever that thing was.
The needle?
The knitting needle.
Yeah, the knitting needle.
Gigantic fucking needle. Which is always I didn't see that early in the day.
Was she knitting when they were watching TV?
Yes, she was knitting. She was.
Okay.
She was?
Yep, she was.
Okay.
It's a knitting needle. So Michael pops up, tries to stab her. She stabs him with the knitting needle. Now I have a question.
I hope you have the same one I do.
Well, Michael is a
monster.
What's the word I'm looking for? Is
supernatural?
When you can't die.
Immortal?
Immortal monster.
Sort of.
Why does a knitting needle knock him out? Like,
well, he's not immortal. He's still a man right now, isn't he? Like he's a.
Would it, if I got a knitting needle stuck in my neck, I would be freaking out. I would be still awake.
True, but it surprised him.
What if she hit his jugular?
True.
And he got knocked out?
Well, the blood would be pouring from his fucking neck, which you didn't see.
He gets knocked out a lot.
He felt like a fucking house of cards in that scene.
Right. Which also happens again.
You are?
And I think he drops the knife and she doesn't. She picks it up and then she drops it.
Yes, that's one of the dumbest things.
She drops the knife a couple times.
She picks up the knife. She looks at it. She's like, "Oh, he must be dead." Goes upstairs.
Hey kids, it's all right.
Hey kids, it's all over. I killed him. He's completely dead.
And while she's saying that, you see him coming up the stairs behind her.
And they start screaming. Get into the door. Lock the door. She goes into the closet. This is great, though. They have the piano music again. Great score. And you see Michael shaking the closet. I mean, she had nowhere else to go, right? It was scary as fuck.
She tried. She opened the glass door, trying to make it look like she went the other way.
So I like how the light goes on.
Yep.
He breaks the thing. She grabs a coat hanger, pokes him in the eye, and then he drops the knife. That's when she stabs him. And then again, he's like one stab and he's out cold.
And he's in her back to him again. Like she didn't learn a lesson from the first fucking time.
Oh, I know. We'll get to that. But does he really go unconscious that fast, or is he fake?
I think he's.
He just dies and comes back.
He has no reason to fake.
State. Yeah.
He doesn't fake because he would just be like, all right, I'm still going to kill you. I don't need to play possum. Although if there's anybody to play possum to, it's Laurie, because she immediately turns her back to anybody.
Right,
to everything. Yeah.
Now at this point, the kids run out screaming and Loomis is like, maybe this house.
Yes, this is great. So, this is when, so she thinks she's dead. This is when she says the famous speech, which is in Halloween 2 also. It's in the beginning. She says, go down the street, go to the Mackenzie's house, blah, blah, blah. And this is when he pops up again. And then
That's another one of my favorite because it's
Great
not like he
scene.
jumps up, just
Yeah.
sits up, turns his head.
It's awesome.
Like,
She, right, and she's just chilling, anything but watching where Michael is. You know what I mean? Like she's. and
Mikey,
he's
I
got-
think we reenacted the scene a million times as kids.
oh, the
I don't
sitting up
think-
thing, turning the head. Yep,
You
constantly.
Right.
actually
We did,
could have
right?
made this movie. Out of all the movies you made, you had the budget to make this movie.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
So he starts trying to strangle her. This is where you get to see Michael's face. She
This
pulls
is where we
up.
see, Joni Cunningham's real life older brother. For 1 second, he's there.
He
Just
looks like-
because they didn't want like the big stuntman Nick Castle's face. They wanted a gentle kind of young man's face to really throw you off.
So she pulls the mask off. Loomis comes in, like
He
shoots him.
struggles
once.
he gets the mask back on.
Well, hold on though. I love that scene when the mask comes off though.
Yep.
Yes.
You see the confusion. You see like just other like what's going on. And then Loomis comes in.
Yep.
Right. Then
He's
fucking
like,
black-
I'm here. I was here to save the day the whole time.
So shoots him once, goes in the other room, shoots him
Great
5
scene.
more times,
Unloads the gun right on him.
goes over the
Falls
edge.
out.
She's like, was that the boogeyman?
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
As a matter of fact, it was. I love his, his English accent. You see, and then he looks back to the body and it's gone. I love the end, how they have the music and you hear the breathing and then they show all different shots of everywhere.
Because it's like he could be anywhere now.
Michael could be anywhere, right?
Yep.
So classic, like you said,
Halloween.
Guys,
goes down
it was a good
smooth,
movie.
very
It's a good movie.
simple.
You could blow a million fucking holes into it if you want to, but it's not.
Which
a
it
movie
was
that-
fun to do, but it
it's
doesn't
just
change
fun.
how much I love this movie.
This
Very good.
this is the movie that really set up a lot of the horror
Right.
movie genre. So like whatever.
It made
It's
careers, yep.
It's not
Absolutely.
a fucking it's not a critically acclaimed movie. It's just a fun movie.
It gave
Perfect for
Donald
this
Pleasant,
time of year.
Yep.
gave Donald Pleasant something to do for the next 20 years.
Yeah, I loved him in Halloween 2 with Uncle Tony.
See, I shot him 6 times. I thought that was a Halloween, but that's Halloween too.
Oh, is that what he says?
Yeah, constantly. It's like, I shot him 6 times. But you know,
He
'cause-
did shoot him 6 times.
Yeah.
I had to count. He shot him once and then 5 times.
How does
Yep.
Halloween 2 end? I haven't seen that movie
Okay.
in so
Oh, I
long.
love the ending.
the ending, she shoots him in the eye twice, in both eyes. So he's completely blind, so it makes no sense. And then blows up a fire.
Well, Dr. Loomis,
Oh.
Dr. Loomis says
explodes the
something- I
oxygen or
forget what he
something in the
says
hospital.
right before, but there's a tank that's blowing. I don't know what kind of gas, but Michael's in the room with Dr. Loomis, and he says, "It's
Oh.
time, Mike." And he lights the lighter, and they both blow up.
So they both blew up. Then Halloween 4 happens, and the rest of the time,
Got a
Donald
scar.
Pleasance has scars on his face for the rest.
Just like right, just like you never know who's going to be dead in any of these movies.
Yep.
So, excellent movie.
We did it. Halloween 1978. But, folks, it's still October.
11 days left.
And we have 11 days left of the spooky season. So, have we officially decided what the next film is going to be?
Human Centipede.
I'm telling you, that's
I will
more like
I will never.
that's more
No,
Valentine's Day or,
watch that
or
movie.
True. Yeah.
Never.
Wait,
Never
what?
watched that. I'd be out. I'd be out of that movie, guys.
Yeah. No, I'm not watching it either.
we'd have
Dave,
less
what
than
you mentioned,
Spider-Verse.
You guys refused to do my Ari Aster movies, so
Yeah, David, what are we doing next time?
you can do the classic.
We could do a class. I mean, honestly, I think The Exorcist is the scariest movie of my life. So I would prefer.
I
to
think
do
I
that.
agree with that.
Yes, we can share a nice story where I was there when you showed it to your 9-year-old daughter, and for the following weeks. It just kind of was a poor decision on your part. I'll just say
Oh
that.
my God, I wouldn't let my kids watch that. Although Exorcist 2, I think Uncle Tony took us to.
Any parting words on Halloween, Christopher?
Excellent movie. Like I said, maybe I'll watch it one more time. I get a little sad when any holiday ends. Christmas music won't start until November 1st. So
yeah,
we'll still want to enjoy Halloween season. So I'll be watching that one more time. Maybe Halloween 2.
Oh, very good. And David, any parting words?
I just listen. I love this movie. It's a simple movie, like I said it earlier, but it's a fun movie to watch. You don't have to really think into it like The Shining. So really good movie. I too, Chris, will watch it one more time.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right. So once again, folks, we're available everywhere podcasts are available. If you have Apple Podcasts, why don't you throw us a rating or a review? It would go a long way for David's career goal of being famous.
A millionaire.
Yeah, millionaire, yes. You can find us on Twitter at fine_films and on Instagram at fine_movies on Twitter. And on Instagram, fine movies, fine spirits. And that is it. We are done. So say goodbye, David.
Shut up, Mikey. Fuck off.
We talk about great movies while drinking.
Okay. We got rid of Dave. So let's talk about Halloween Kills. The number one movie in America, which I guess is still a thing. People still go to theaters. But for me, I sat on my couch and watched it at home on Peacock.
Same.
I was
kids and I watched. Sorry.
Oh, what were you saying?
The kids and I were excited to watch it. We were going to go to the theater, but we decided to just watch it special Saturday night.
Yeah, I was very excited to I really liked the 2018 one.
I did too.
I was, did the same thing. I didn't watch it. I watched it alone, lights off, made sure it was dark. And I enjoyed some of it. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed some of it.
I did too. So I think I told you this. We saw the trailer and Aiden says, he goes, I know two things. One, that really looks bad. He goes, I don't think that's going to be a good movie. Two, we're going to go watch it.
Very good.
I said, I agree with both of those things, Dan. And we were both surprised. He was surprised. I'm not sure what, Grace was just, Grace enjoyed it, but so.
The gore doesn't bother them?
No, they saw that most recent one, which was kind of like a throwback to the original, but,
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking about when 2018 came around?
Oh, they saw that too, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
We actually went in the movies.
Yes.
The four of us saw that one. But yes, I enjoyed a lot of it. So to go over it real quick.
Talk about what we liked and didn't like? Or
yeah, I mean, I actually liked the flashback, how it started out. And
that was cool to see.
Yep, Deputy Hawkins. And
they really ignored Halloween 2 with this one.
They did. They did. And I like that stuff. And then I liked all the, the characters from the original. Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy Doyle and Lonnie, the annoying little Lonnie. And I enjoyed probably the first 3/4 of it because of the gory deaths were great.
Yeah, the whole thing where he's coming out of the fire, the house.
Yes, some original. Yeah,
I really like that stuff.
Yeah, very horrifying, violent deaths. And the two guys, Big Jim and Little Jim.
Big John, Little John. That's Big
John, Little John. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were fun.
Those guys were, and then entertaining. And then for me, it went off the rails a little. I hated the whole vigilante thing at the hospital.
That was like the whole thing when they brought in, they like a second person escaped, and they kind of made that like a B plot. Like he's the one who was sleeping in the car. He's the one who, and he was like her. Like they made it. They tried to make it look like, the mob mentality is wrong, and it was just like,
Well, and I had that problem with the end. I mean, not that we do spoil here, right? But
Sure.
but the very end, when they're all, and then he turns the tables on them, it's like, it was too, like I said to you, it was too meta. It was like, it's like it's about all of us, you know, we could be evil too, or listen, it's a slasher movie. It's Michael Myers is the devil, and it's just good fun.
Exactly. And then Karen locks that guy in the hallway, so he just jumps out the window.
Yes.
Like, and then I don't quite understand, like, at the end, she goes into the house and Michael Myers is back there, because I guess he killed everybody who was trying to, or not everybody, because then the daughter was
Lindsay's
out with the ambulance.
He's still alive.
Lindsay's still alive. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter, she was still alive, but the daughter went in the house and they killed her, and that's how it ended.
Well, they didn't show, you know, they just like you didn't.
True.
No, Deputy Hawkins was killed, because we thought, and I had forgot about that. The last one, it was the doctor that slashed his throat.
Right. Yeah, I didn't go back and watched it.
So who knows? Tommy Doyle could still be alive if they want to.
If they wanted to, they could.
God is probably still alive. But yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis was kind of like a side story.
Yeah.
She was like, she only had a day to shoot or something.
Right.
So, I don't know what it was.
Like I saw Peacock had some little extras, and I watched, and she said, you know, the first one was really about Michael and Laurie. The second one was about Michael and the town. I was like, okay, I get that. I didn't want to see that, but I get that.
But then, like you said, it was like, kill evil ends.
Evil dies tonight.
I don't know how I could forget that. Yeah. So it was not great. I mean, as far as entertaining, I'll watch it again. I probably watched the first.
And I knew had to set it up for the last one, because I'm pretty sure it's all done. Like this was supposed to come out last year.
Oh, right.
And Halloween, was it Halloween Ends was supposed to come out this year. So I assume they're all ready to go.
And a lot of, like, I had forgotten stuff from the last one, and because Aiden was like, what happened? And Grace was asking me questions the whole time. I'm like, look, I don't know.
Right. And the boyfriend, he's the one who ends up finding the cop.
Yes,
that's the boyfriend. I remember him, but I didn't know he was Lonnie's son. And then when I'm watching the original Halloween, I'm like, well, Lonnie's like mentioned and seen for 5 seconds. Lonnie, get away from the house.
Not a main character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They just had to do something, bring a guy in, make him Lonnie. Hey, it makes sense that there's still a guy, you know, hanging around the same town.
Right.
40 years later, it happens.
Yeah. So, you know, lukewarm.
Yeah.
We won't be doing a separate, well, we just, you know, I guess we just did cover it.
We did we nailed it. But I have to say, the morgue in that hospital, put a curtain up, please. Maybe put a blanket over the naked kid. I mean,
very unprofessional.
I guess they have a lot going on that night.
True.
Plus, evil died tonight. Plus, there was a guy jumped out the window. I mean,
it was very hectic night in Haddonfield.
Like Anthony Michael Hall didn't realize Michael Myers was not 5'3".
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy. Yeah.
How many times did you see him, Tommy? Tommy Doyle does not rule. Okay, now finally, let's just do Hubie Halloween. Like, no. I love that movie. No, I don't love that movie. Have you watched Hubie?
Well, yeah,
Halloween?
We watched it last year when it first came out. Tell you that, like, it was so dumb, but I remember dying laughing when at the end, like the cops show up with Buscemi, and he's like, "Don't fire until I give the word." I don't know. I lost it at that. That was so perfectly done.
My kids were making fun of them because they really enjoyed it too, especially Steve was it? No, it was Rob Schneider when he says, "I'm peeing right now." Remember, he goes, "You're always peeing." He was himself. But yeah, my kids were laughing at me. I laughed out loud at least 10 times, and I also say, "How stupid."
You're right.
You know, like, actually say, so dumb.
That's the Sandler movies now. Like I actually watched the one they did with him and Chris Rock, and they were like dads at a wedding. That was pretty good.
I never saw it. But you know what? It was more entertaining than Jack and Jill, and I didn't even watch some of the
I never saw those.
even though he has that terrible voice, it's funny, and it's fun to see Salem and everything, and to see the callback to all those characters. And wow, we really are doing QB Halloween.
I guess it happened.
It's better than Waterboy even for me personally. But okay.
Fans not experts.